it's really a work of art to put all these things together. This is the classic one. You have Camco. Now, if you know Camco, you're like, that's not really a Camco. Yeah, it is. Actually, it is. But I put on an old, well, no, not an old one, an Iron Cobra bottom to it. Worked out. Um, and I don't believe, yes, the footboard matches, I had to drill some holes through the footboard, not into the pedal, but through the footboard to get that to line up right. You can see it right there. Okay. Um, what's that big rectangle in the middle? That was where the Iron Cobra, what's that called? I suddenly don't remember that name. Cobra Coil. The Cobra Coil was right there. Anyway, so this one flies. This one, the Camco already flies. Now with the stability of the footboard, it really flies. I love it. I used this pedal without the footboard for years. I learned so much on a Camco pedal. I mean, the pedal taught me. I have another video where I really go in depth on the Camco pedal, and I highly recommend checking that out. The Camco will change your playing forever. It is, I'm not the only one. Go online and check out how many people love the Camco pedal. It's a monster pedal. It's so quiet looking. It's not flashy or anything, but man, the dimensions, they knocked it out of the stadium with this one. Anyway, this is awesome. I highly recommend putting on, if you do a Camco, put on the Tama spring lock right there, right? So you won't have to tighten it up. I remember gigs with one of my really good friends playing with all the time, and he got used to me saying, wait a second, after a few songs, he'd see me reach down and tighten up the nuts because it would de-thread itself. So I highly recommend this. Once you do that, that problem is solved. You never have to deal with it again. It's beautiful. Because incidentally, if you forget to monitor those nuts on that spring in the middle of a gig, it will de-thread itself and you will no longer have any play at all. It'll literally pop out and there won't be any tension at all. It'll just fall right back on your foot. So I take this out every once in a while to walk down memory lane, and it warms my heart just to see it. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I just absolutely love it. But it has a different feel now, or I've gotten used to the Flexi glide on my Iron Cobra, custom Iron Cobra. I like to work. I'm a handyman, and so now you're like, that's not an Iron Cobra either. Yeah, it is, but it's a blend of the two. The old Iron Cobra, HP 90, and the new Iron Cobra. The HP 90 is the one with these columns, aluminum style. They don't have the black coating. Everything is the original. It's coming from the Iron Cobra. I don't know, at that point, was it HP 90? I'm pretty sure because the indicator is this, right? This is the, I think the HP 20, that's right, was just a basic hunk of metal, aluminum metal that you tighten down. Hold on. And so this one is the 90 at the time. There's a little piece of plastic here that pushes down on your bass drum ring. Now this one, is this the one? No, it's not. So this one, I have explored the lengths of this Kevlar strip a lot. And this is the one I gig with. And so by that I mean I gig with this, I teach with this. The levels are all right where they need to be for me. You gotta spend a lot of time and figure out the angles of things versus the tensions versus the angles. You know, there's a few things working here. Versus the position of the beater. So it took me a long time. I'm not talking like weeks. I'm talking like filtering through all of the options. It took me a long time coming out of the Camco world, which is fixed, and I loved it for that. Didn't have to think about it. This one, you can enhance angles. Once you know how you play, once you understand what you're playing and what you need out of the pedal, you can enhance those angles. Enhance the height versus the position of the beater versus the position of the sprocket, Flexi glide, power glide, rolling glide, versus the tension of the springs. So this one is in its place and I love it. Now, is it this one? Yeah, it is. So, this is my double pedal. Now, I'm not a double pedal monster, but I love playing double pedal for coordination and exercise, and just to be the overall experience of playing double pedal is amazing. Anyway, highly recommend that just for an experience. Do it. You don't have to perform if you don't want to, but as an experience, feeling the bass drum come up your leg and into your chest, it's phenomenal. Anyway, this one is after several attempts, no, I should say, after looking through several different series of the Iron Cobra 900, and they originally, I guess the first move was at the end of this collar, at the top here, it was more like a ball, like this. And there was an Allen key screw there. So if you've seen some of my other videos, as I'm playing around with these things and taking them apart and mix matching parts, I'm tightening the Allen key and goes, and I hear it click, and I'm like, oh, no. And sure enough, it made a crack in the top of the column in the ball here. So I go, okay, take that off. And Tama's great. You can find parts of Tama everywhere. You can mix match parts also, which is what I did with this one. But to solve that problem, maintaining the Iron Cobra 900 look, Iron Cobra 900 came out with, Tama came out with, this is their first solution to the problem. If you look here, you have these two screws. And so the bar sits down, basically is cradled into position, and these two caps you put down and screw them down with nice solid screws so they will never crack. There's no tension on this piece of metal, as opposed to an Allen key where it was basically pushing that Allen screw into the bar, compressing it up inside the ball. It's not like that at all. It just caps it off and hugs it in place. So you'll never have a problem with it. If you love Iron Cobras like I do, highly, highly recommend getting this system. Now, the newest versions of Iron Cobra, it's essentially the same thing, but it's kind of like there's a lip. So it sits in place, and then the screws go in horizontally into the column here. But it's essentially the same. It's still just hugging it in place, so there's no tension. It looks cooler, but as far as durability, both of those are the ones to get. If you're serious about playing and you foresee yourself mixing stuff up like I do, this is an absolute necessity, and not the column version with the Allen screw. Now, another thing that's really cool about this one is I took this Kevlar strap and I shortened it. I went to a guy that I go to for all of my zippers on cases and, you know, sewing guy. And I went in and asked him, and right there on the spot, he said, yeah, give me that. He took it and he sewed it up. I said, just right there's the line. Just can you sew it right there? Because you can't do it by hand. I can do that, but it's just too tough. So he did it in about 5 minutes. It was done. And that immediately translates to a higher footboard. Look how high it is compared to this one. That's going to be hard to, well, you can kind of see it, but you can't see it. Like, well, you can see the length here. Look at that right there versus this. See that? This is the original one. Let me put that in place. This is the original. It would be there actually. So you can see as I hold it, because the spring's not on it, when I hold it, you can see the length of the strap versus this one is in position. Okay, look at the size, the difference, the length of that. So this, because it doesn't have a Cobra coil, I like having the pedal under my foot all the time. I don't like it when there's a gap there. And I imagine that, I'll be a little funny here, leg lengths matter, you know. I'm not an incredibly tall guy, I'm not an incredibly small guy, and probably on the smaller side than the taller side, but based on the height that I like to sit at, I wanted the pedal I felt was just maybe a millimeter or two off my foot sometimes. I didn't like that. So I like the pedals raised up a little bit more for me. And so that I did that. It's awesome. It's really, really, really nice. I highly recommend if you're the same thing. I guess I'm like 5'6". So if you're around that height, 5'5", 5'6", but it also depends on how you sit, how high you sit and how low you sit, you know. If you sit low, it's going to be under your foot all the time, right? Because your foot is, your knee is up and your foot is always there. If you sit high, you can easily float off the pedal. So, but the other day, I had some free time after tons of lessons and gigs and stuff, and free time, and to track some stuff. And I had recently tracked, if you've seen some of the posts I put up recently, funk tracks and solo tracks, and it was, I had some time, so, and this pedal's always in place here in the studio, so I went at it. And I was like, this doesn't feel the same, because I got used to this one. This is the one I work with. Well, what's the difference? I was like, the strap, and you know what? That Cobra coil really makes a difference. The Cobra coil, I know I was probably one of the first, well, not the first one, but in my first videos about it, I was like, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. I don't think so, but you know. And then I remember posting up another one saying, look, I put on my own Cobra coil. I didn't buy one, I have a spring that size. Put the bolt under there, right? Positioned it in a place that I thought was appropriate. And lo and behold, you're looking at yet another hybrid thing. Cobra coil. Doesn't move. It's perfect. It's awesome. And I realized, you know what? That Cobra coil, I got used to it. That Cobra coil is actually very nice. And it's only when you get used to it that you realize when you don't have it anymore, right? That's the famous phrase. You know, you only know what you got when you lose it. So I was back on this thing and it felt slow. And I was like, I don't understand. What do you mean slow? Come on, the strap is smaller. It's the Iron Cobra. What's going on? The heights are right. Flexi glide, it should be super fast. And it was a little slow. It was a little lagging. And what's the difference? The Cobra coil. It does actually work. It adds microseconds onto the rebound under your foot. So if you're doing pocket playing, da-dum, right? R&B stuff, boom, ba-boom, right? That kind of da-dum. Those two hits. In syncopated fashion, dum, da-dum, dum, dum, da-dum, da-dum, dum, dum, like that. The Cobra coil helps rebound that pedal under your foot. So when you re-attack the notes, the second note, it's always there. And this one was lagging behind. So I'm actually I'm thinking about now, I'll go get another spring and put the Cobra coil, on this one as well. And another thing is this one, though, I like, it has the foot stopper here. That's really nice, actually, because I like to bury the beater into the head, and that sensation's really, really nice. And the foot stopper allows you to feel that as well, whereas the one I work with every single day doesn't have one. And I have an extra, I'm going to put it on. That's a really, really nice thing to have, because it gives you a sensation of this is where the beat ends. When you have that foot stopper and you bury the beater in the head, that's what it feels like. If you're heel down and you're playing, you know where it ends only because of the note you heard. But your foot is not finding an identical spot where it stops if your heel's down. Unless you're playing with the beater buried in the head and your heel's down, which is exhausting for a whole gig. But anyway, I just thought to share a little bit more of this stuff. I'll do some more in-depth things about these pedals. I love them. Just looking at them warms my heart. And I hope it does for you too. More news. Check out my other videos. I'm posting a lot right now. I got the time. Funk beats, solo stuff. And there's more coming up. All the best. Ciao.